the integrated Air India Vistara entity has taken its first flight from Doha in Qatar, I beg your pardon, to Mumbai after Vistara wrapped up its last day of flight operations. Now, approximately 1,15,000 travellers with Vistara bookings will begin flying with Air India after the merger. Now, despite the change, passengers can still expect the same in-flight experience they've enjoyed with Vistara. As the airline maintains its high standards of service, the code AI2 is being used for all Vistara flights being operated by Air India post the merger to help passengers identify the flight when booking. Now, a joint venture between the Tata Group and Singapore Airlines, Vistara, will now fully integrate with Air India, with Singapore Airlines retaining a 25.1% stake in the expanded airline. Now, this merger is a part of a larger consolidation in India's aviation industry following the earlier integration of AIX Connect with Air India Express in October 2024. Now, from today onwards, Air India will become the country's sole full-service carrier, marking the end of an era that saw India's full-service airline market shrink from 5 carriers to 1 in over 17 years. Let's in fact take a look at some interesting statistics with regards to the fleet numbers of Air India and of Vistara in particular. Here, of course, we have some statistics as far as the fleet and the staff are concerned. Air India, of course, was operating 113 flights. Vistara was operating 70 such flights. Now, of course, after the augmentation, Air India will get a further boost. They are going to operate 208 planes. Now, Air India has approximately 25,000 staff. Vistara has 23,000 staff. A lot of them are going to be accommodated here as well. Meanwhile, Air India used to operate in 44 domestic destinations and Vistara in 125. Now, of course, Air India is going to operate in 103 domestic destinations. Air India used to operate in 40 international destinations before the merger and Vistara in 18 such international destinations. They are looking at augmenting this number to 70. Meanwhile, Air India's market share earlier was 24% and Vistara's was 10%. Now, this will of course see a boost as the merger is taking place. Air India's daily departures before the merger was 360 and Vistara's daily departures before the merger was 250. So, these were, especially Vistara was quite a popular airline with a lot of passengers who have in fact expressed their appreciation for the carrier in several such, whether it is posts or tweets across social media platforms. They've bid adieu to Vistara. Meanwhile, I'd like to inform that if you Google Vistara and if you click on their website, it will direct you to the Air India website as well. Meanwhile, joining me live on the broadcast is my colleague Brian Anthony Thomas. He is joining us live from Terminal 3 at the Indira Gandhi International Airport. Brian, what's it like out there right now? It's past 11 a.m. in the morning. We've been having this conversation since early this morning. A lot of people have been very concerned about their exclusive vouchers and the points that they have accumulated through their loyalty programs. So what do the passengers feel about this now? Air India has come up with a new plan called the Maharaja Clubs. Are people aware of this? And those who are, what do they think about this?
Well, Pia, definitely, we've been here from the very morning and we've been covering, we've been showing, we've also spoken to many people and giving a clearer and a transparent picture about the merger that has happened and that will has been functioned from today itself. That was, from the very morning that has happened, the very first flight that has happened after the merger. Now, yes, there are many people who are concerned about their, benefits, the club Vistara. But yes, where we are is another very, important place. This is the very IGI airport. And yes, it was even said after the merger that the club Vistara benefits will be protected. And it will also be seemingly integrated into the Maharaja Club, which is the new Air India flagship frequent flyer program. And with this merger, now, Air India and Vistara, they both are planning to bring the best of the both worlds while offering unparalleled privileges and exclusive benefits. Now there will be special offers as well, and even when you see the website also, like you said, when you Google Vistara, you get transported directly to Air India. And now, yes, when people were very concerned about the benefits that they had from Club Vistara, now yes, they have announced in their website itself that it will remain as it is. It will remain protected. It will not get hampered, but instead, when it will get merged to the new Maharaja Club benefit that Air India has been offering. And here, yes, the numbers have also changed, where it was UK, from UK, UK to UK 495 or 855, what was the numbers were, but it has again changed from UK to AI2 followed by some numbers. So yes, this is these are the main changes, but again, to make sure the transition is still happening in a slower process, to make the passengers not be confused. So still UK is being written, but in a while the UK will be removed to AI2 followed by the numbers that was happening. But yes, this merger, it will be it's just the first day today, so it's pretty new. The people are still aloof about the merger. There are many people who are yet to know about the merger, who have some idea about it, who do not have some idea about it. So yes, and time and again it will say whether this merger will be beneficial for the passengers, or whether their in-flight experience will be altered, or it will remain how it was. Because when Vistara was flying, it was a good flight experience. I myself have been flying in Vistara itself, and for me also it was a good flying experience, where there was a lot of benefits. You talk about premium economy that was there, then there was business class, then there was economy. So it had the benefits of and it was not even that expensive. It was in your budget. It had your premium economy, it had your your business class, and it had your economy as well. And even they had the Vistara World also. When you're flying in Vistara, you can even access to movies, to songs that will make your in-flight experience way better than it was. So yes, there are good benefits in Vistara, but yes, it will be very interesting to note whether after the merger, whether those benefits that people were getting when Vistara was flying, will that be intact as well. But when we spoke to the few passengers, they said yes, it is still there. There is not much changes, but the major changes are such like the benefits are getting shifted to Maharaja Club, the numbers are getting changed, but overall the experience that they are seeing is still intact and still as it was.
Yeah, Brian, could you also catch a few people who are perhaps still waiting and are not in a rush, and let's hear it from them also. You've spoken to one of the passengers who was waiting early this morning, who was not very optimistic about the merger. He'd of course cited concerns regarding the lack of competition this might bring about in the market. We have seen the number of Indian air carriers shrink from 5 to 1 over the last 17 years, so that future still remains in question. So could you please speak to some other people if they are aware about this, and what are their concerns in particular?
Well, Pia, definitely I'll be trying to speak to people, but again, there are many people who are aware of the merger, who are not aware of the merger. Excuse me, I'd like to ask you, are you aware of the merger that has happened between, Vistara and Indigo? Are you hopeful that it will be better, or are you skeptical about it?
I think it will be better, because since now Ratan Tata sir has passed away, like who's going to handle Vistara the way he did? So Air India is a good company, and I've flown with them multiple times. Their services are good. So I think it will be good if they keep the standards well as Vistara did.
Have you flown in Vistara as well? And if you have, how was your experience while flying in?
I never got a chance to fly in Vistara. That would always be a sorrow for me, because now I can never fly in Vistara, because it will always be Air India now. So yeah, that's a regret.
You're hopeful about the merger?
Yeah. I'm hopeful that it will be good.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. So yes, now when I spoke to this very person, he has clearly said that he is very hopeful about the merger, and he is about the fact that yes, even though he has not flown in Vistara as of now, but he is hopeful for the fact that Air India will, this merger will be a beneficial one as well. And here also, if you give you a picture also of there are many types of people you see in an airport. There are people who are aware of the fact that yes, the merger has happened. There are people who are in a hurry. There are different moods, some people are in a hurry, some people are willing to talk, some people will not be keen in speaking to us as well. Many people will be knowing about the merger, many people will not be knowing about the merger. We'll also be trying to speak to another person to see if they are willing to talk to her. Sir, are you aware? Excuse me. Are you aware of the merger that has happened between both Vistara and Air India?
Sorry, I cannot.
You cannot. Okay. So yes, like I said, also there are many people you will be, who will be answering, who will not be answering. So you get a contrast of emotions, contrast of perspectives on people, whether they will be or whether they are interested to talk to people or not. And here also, when we are, while talking to people and while walking, also we come to the kiosks also that has been made dedicated for the Vistara Air India, platform, where there is a counter-like structure has been made, and here also for the people who are traveling via Vistara, Air India, there's an update also that has been given that the check-ins will be processed at Air India counters. Now the Vistara counters have been changed to Air India counters, and even to make sure the customers do not their experience do not get hampered, it's also written that their in-flight Vistara experience will remain the same. And if they face any difficulties, then they can even contact the in-ground staff that is there. Pia.
All right, Belly, with that, I would like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast and sharing all those very comprehensive details. But before I move on, there's one last thing I want to show all you viewers. I've opened the Air India website on my system over here that you can see on your screens. This is the page that showcases the Maharaja Club. This is, of course, the new loyalty program that Air India has come up with after the qualification, after the merger. You can see the tiers qualification criteria. There is a red tier where they say that's basically like a sign up. That's this first tier itself. That's the starting point where they've stated that you can join the Maharaja Club and start earning points. Then there's a silver tier over here. Once a person joins the club and earns 15,000 points, including 4,500 points with Air India flights, or have taken at least 30 flights. With a minimum of Air India flights, they'll be upgraded. Gold tier, of course, is a 30,000 points, including 9,000 with Air India flights and minimum of 8 Air India flights and passenger. And of course, the last tier for the passengers is the platinum tier with 45,000 tier points, including 13,500 with the tier points earned through Air India flights or 90 flights, including a minimum of 12 Air India flights. Now, what this basically does is it includes the vouchers, it includes the CV points that have already been accumulated by Vistara passengers in their own Vistara Club loyalty programs. So the passengers will not lose out on their points that they've accumulated while using their loyalty services with Vistara as this merger takes place.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.